Howdy folks, first responder here. This is welcome to the third video of probably four anyways on the Bug Out Bag series. In this video I want to really take apart the first aid kit. There's a lot of things in this first aid kit and a lot of details about it, and so I wanted to have its own individual video. First things first, you want to do is get some kind of kit like this where it's Mylar compatible and can be attached to your web gear or your tactical vest, and make sure you label it so people know it's a first aid kit in case they need to use it to help you. And one of the things that's a great idea that I really like is this blood type that I found at the Army surplus store as well. I want to go ahead and mount that on that, and so that if they ever come to your aid and you're unconscious, they'll know your blood type in case they need to work on you. So let's open this first aid kit up, and we'll look at the put this down a little bit more. We'll look at the details inside this first aid kit. This thing is just jam-packed. I've got pretty much everything I could want in this first aid kit. Snake bite kit, obviously very critical. Latex gloves, you want a pair of gloves in there. A flexible dressing. Alcohol swabs, very, very key inside a first aid kit. You want to make sure you have lots of alcohol swabs. Inside this sort of inside pouch here, I have moleskin. Very important. If you have some moleskin in the field, your feet will simply need it no matter what. You're going to do an unusual amount of walking that you normally wouldn't do, and the moleskin is going to save your feet. Save from blisters and all sorts of infections. Inside here, I'm not going to take them all out, is about half a dozen of large 4x4 gauze bandages as well. So that's inside the inside pouch of my first aid kit there. In the main section here, we've got hand sanitizer. That may become very critical in the field if you need it. Benadryl anti-itch cream can be used for lots of different applications. For me, I have an inhaler in here. I don't have asthma or anything particularly, but sometimes in some environmental situations the air is really difficult to breathe, and you may find yourself getting a little bit wheezy or a little bit difficult to breathe. An inhaler like this is life-saving, so I would almost recommend this to anybody who could potentially be in an environment. I'm in Southern California and LA. Sometimes the weather can get really nasty. You can get these over the counter now with the Primatene Mist, so I would recommend that. Smaller dressing. Something we don't often think about in the field, something for your teeth. You all of a sudden have an abscess or a sore tooth. What are you going to do in the field with no dentist around? These are Orajel medicated toothpick swabs. You literally just break the center like a capsule and then apply it directly to the tooth. Life-saving. These are fantastic to have in your kit. Some acetaminophen, Tylenol, got to have that. In here, some small regular bandages. Get the flexible fabric kind. Don't get the cheap plastic ones. They don't hold on your hand. And some antifungal cream. Get some jungle rot in the field. You're going to need some antifungal cream. Decongestions. Got to have some cold medication in case you get under the weather while you're out in the field. Constipation. Got to have some laxatives. Zyrtec, fantastic allergy relief medicine. Make sure you've got at least a few on hand in case you're in an environment where oftentimes when we're bugging out in the field, you're going to be in an environment where you don't normally work or live, and you're going to find that you're going to have allergies almost 90% of the time, unless you're just immune to that sort of thing. Tiger rub, Tiger Balm. Got to have some Tiger Balm when you get psoriatic muscles later on in your trip. Water purification tablets, can't stress enough, have to have some water purification tablets. And that's the tablet and the neutralizer. This Dramamine, there is some you know, air sickness tablets in here as well. But as well as I shoved just a few Tylenol, headache medication, you know, just kind of in a small little capsule like that. Zicam, great for you feel like you have a cold coming on, you're in the field, you start taking these immediately, it'll reduce the cold symptoms drastically. Really help you get back on your feet if you get under the weather. Surgical tape, gotta have surgical tape. Pepto-Bismol, I put it in a smaller container and stuck it in there and stuck tape around and make sure it's not going to leak. Pepto-Bismol, very nice to have. This is Stingies. Get a bee sting, wasp, something like that, leather jacket. You'll want this to ease the pain. Main part of the first aid kit, some smaller 2x2 gauze bandages. Key to have. My favorite thing, Neosporin antibiotic ointment. Gotta have that in your first aid kit. Last but not least, I would recommend this. Hopefully you'll never have to use this, but if you're in a life and death situation in the field, you may need to conduct triage, so I would definitely recommend a first aid or a surgical kit. The surgical kit has all the surgical tools that you'll need to conduct triage in the field, as well as it has a small bit of antiseptic and several now I'm drawing a blank. Several of the needle and thread you'll need to sew up sutures. You'll have some sutures in there as well. So you can get these at most Army supply stores. I got this from a local Army supply store I know very well, so it was a high quality kit. They're not terribly cheap, but I think in a survival situation this could mean a matter of life and death. So I think they're worth getting. You're probably going to spend about $30 for a decent quality one, $30 to $40, so I think you should get it. I think it's worth it. I believe that's, well, I got one more thing in here. I feel like opening up a stocking at Christmas. Some insect repellent. So that's pretty much a first aid kit. Everything in here pretty much would take care of most emergencies. In the main part of my bug out bag is medications, antibiotic, oral medications, Tylenol, painkiller, that sort of thing. But in the main first aid kit, you want to have these minimum supplies. Okay? That is my first aid kit. Thanks for listening.